Thank you, Jody. That was lovely. And welcome to Sunday at Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to all the people on Facebook and Zoom land. And so glad that all of you came here this morning. And what a wonderful morning it is. This is the day we celebrate Mother's Day. And, you know, we want to really celebrate those mothers that supported us as we came forth. But we also want to recognize that we all either had a mother or are a mother. And on top of that, when we talk about spirit, we always talk about the feminine, the nurturing side. And how many of us haven't? I know I've been a mother to several cats, and I know people that have been a mother to several dogs. So we all have that aspect within us, and we're celebrating that today, that nurturing, loving aspect that is the truth of each of us. So as we go forth today, we're going to start with some music, and that's going to be turning it over to Jody Siegel, and thank you for this day.
All right, you ready to sing another song? Oh, thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, healing day. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful life. This wonderful, wonderful life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful life. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful life. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day.
Thank you, Jody, and we are flexible. We recognize and went right along with you. All righty. So let's do our vision statement, and we're using the exploration vision statement, and we're going to read it together. All righty. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community equipped to launch new strategies for a striving spiritual center. It is exciting, and we are in that process. So let me let you know who's here today. You already met Jody Siegel, who comes with her own little drum band. I call her the one-woman band. And we have none other than our Catherine Bonin, who is going to be our speaker today, and once again brings a little experiential with her. I just love that you do that. And our own Janice Scavera is going to be our practitioner this morning. So we are just really blessed, if you will. And now we're going to go into announcements. And the first thing I'm going to do is kind of give you an update on where we are in this whole coming together. We voted to be one, to come and unify and be one center. And I think last week I told you that the practitioner corps is now one. Rachel from our center and Valerie Day from Namaste are co-leads. And we are now one. When you make a prayer request, it goes out to everyone in the combined corps, if you will. And now we have, I'll explain it as well as I can because it's rather complex. We had, 8 teams, and now we're doing cross teams because we found that something that affected one also affected others. And so now we have made kind of new combination teams, and the greeters and host welcoming group has already met once, and they're starting to get together and develop their mission and start figuring out how we're going to move forward with that as when we are one. And next Sunday, we're going, yes. Well, it's very complex. I don't know how to make it easy. The facilities team has done a lot of research on which site, where we should meet when we are one. When two become one. And they decided it crossed over so many different teams that each team is sending 2 people to that. And next Sunday, which is our Collaboration Sunday, so don't miss Collaboration Sunday, that's always fun, Namaste will be here, and after service, we won't be having a town hall, we'll be having an all-team meeting. So all the teams will be there. The representatives from the team and the facilities team are the primary people, and they're going to be making the recommendation as to where we are. But they're going to do it with all the other teams there, listening and hearing how we got to the point that we did. And we expect that there will be a recommendation. I kind of suspect it might be here. And that will then go to the ELT team. And the ELT team will then pass that recommendation to the boards. And if we are here, we will not need to vote because we would not be changing. But Namaste will need to vote, and I will be at their meeting to be witness to their vote. So we'll keep you posted. Yeah, I kind of think I know what's going to happen, but we're still living in the mystery. So we need to walk through this mindfully, respectfully, and honoring all people in both centers. So that's kind of where we are right now. We're moving forward. And the next thing I think we might have coming up, I don't know how soon, but we're working on it. Pam's working night and day on it. We're looking to make a newsletter, one newsletter, instead of one from Namaste and one from Seal Beach, to get one newsletter. That's really in the works. That may not be coming for a while yet, but it's being worked on, let me tell you. So we got a lot going on. Then, oh my goodness, Reverend Bobby has put together a 4 agreements workshop. It's experiential. It's got videos. I went this last Saturday, and I read that book probably 10, 20 years ago. I got new ahas all over the place. It was just amazing. And I highly recommend you sign up. It is a love offering. We're trying to make this so anybody and everybody can come. When you sign up on Everbright, you get to decide how much you want to put in. You can put in $5, $10, $20, $40, $50, whatever you want as a love offering, and you're signed up and ready to go. And it is just an amazing experience. I recommend it to absolutely everyone. It is, read the book and don't get confused when they talk about domestication, because domestication is how we domesticate dogs. And when we have children, we domesticate them so they learn how to use the toilet and they learn how to be polite and whatnot. So we've all been domesticated. We've all been trained, if you will. We would call it race consciousness, I think. But in any case, don't miss that. That is the 27th of May. So sign up, and it's right here at Seal Beach. Then we have the Mind-Body Reset that is this Saturday, the 20th. And it is Dennis Estrada is bringing it. Valerie Day is the one that organizes it. It will be right here at Seal Beach from 2:30 to 4. It's a wonderful, I think there's going to be some meditation, some sound baths, come and see. And the last thing is also a part of the collaboration. We are starting a choir. And Pam and Eileen, Pam and Eileen stand up. Pam's way in the back, and Eileen. See either one of those if you're interested in doing that. We're probably going to start in June. And we'll keep you posted as far as that goes as well. So that's a lot. Sorry. Now we get to let go and kind of allow ourselves to transfer into that, back into that spiritual space that is the truth of who we are. Just allow yourself to take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into that center that is that love and that peace and that harmony. And just allow yourself to quietly become receptive to our practitioner and speaker.
In honor of today being Mother's Day, I would like to share a story I found about a mother bird protecting her chicks. It was after a huge forest fire in Yellowstone National Park. Forest rangers began their trek up a mountain to assess the inferno's damage. One ranger found a bird literally petrified in the ashes, perched statuesquely on the ground at the base of a tree. When he nudged the bird with a stick, 3 tiny chicks scurried from beneath their dead mother's wings. The loving mother, keenly aware of the impending disaster, had carried her offspring to the base of this tree, gathered them under her wings, instinctively knowing that the toxic smoke would rise. She could have flown to safety, but she refused to abandon her children, her babies. When the blaze had arrived and the heat had scorched her small body, the mother remained steadfast. Because she was willing to die, those under the cover of her wings would live. I love this story because it really captures the spirit of unyielding love that we celebrate today. And from a personal perspective, becoming a mother has been my life's greatest honor. On many levels, I feel like my life really rocketed into high gear when I learned I was going to be a mom. And learning to become a grandma, well, that felt like a promotion. And today is the day we celebrate the type of selfless love that is often found in a mother, but it also provides us with an opportunity to celebrate selfless love wherever and with whomever it is found. In addition to mothers, I think today is a great day to honor and recognize the other people in our life that provide nurturing, comforting love. There are aunts, uncles, teachers, step-parents, and a wide variety of caregivers that just show up in our lives with their great big hearts and helping hands, and today is a great day to celebrate them too. Mother's Day is also a day that can spark sadness. The sadness can come from many sources. Not everyone that wanted to be a mom was able to do so. And some mothers have lost their children to death or estrangement. And some are sad because their mother is no longer alive or because the relationship is fractured somehow. So however this day has you feeling, I honor you, and I honor what you are experiencing and feeling. In closing, I'd like to share a little quote from Scott Aubrey. We spend so much time in our human life in the things of this world, living in a world of relativity, of duality, but there are cracks in our humanness, sacred openings when the veil is parted and the light of God breaks in on us. In prayer and in meditation, in a stunning sunrise, the view above the timberline, the look in another's eyes. And Spirit not only gave us these occasional glances into the heart of life, it provided a complete model for sacred experience. And it's called motherhood. And so it is.
I guess it's me then. I too am a mother, and interesting enough, I talked to my 91-year-old mother today, who's still mothering me. As we do, as mothers, and I saw my son yesterday, and I'm mothering him much to the eye rolling of him. This is a song I wrote for him when he was little, but a lot of these things are the things that my mother said to me. Through fire and water, from walk to run, sons and daughters, journey has begun. Searching the distance for a bird in flight, and the man in the moon, and the diamond in the sky just drift off to sleep, awakening dreams. Through innocent eyes, there's a joy in everything, and little miracles get bigger every day. My mama said, little miracles get bigger every day. Little miracles get bigger every day. Little miracles get bigger every day. Now thunder crashes and ghosts haunt your room, but they're only nightmares and cannot hurt you. And fireworks sparkle, see how they shine, but the brightest colors are the ones you feel inside. Be truthful and kind, trust in your soul, that the love in your heart keeps you young as you grow old. And little miracles get bigger every day. Little miracles get bigger every day. My mama told me little miracles get bigger every day. Little miracles get bigger every day. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jody. That was beautiful. So, a mother walks into her son's bedroom and says, "Son, it's time to get up. You got to get ready for school." He turns over, "Oh, I don't want to go to school. Ma, give me 2 reasons why I should go." And she says, "Well, you're 52 and you are the principal." So happy Mother's Day to all of you who are mothers and all of you that have mothers. In getting ready for this talk, I thought a lot about my mother's hands and a mother's hands and how they hold us when we're afraid, right? How they prepare food for us and tuck us in at night. When they made food and meals for us, couldn't you just feel the love? When your mom patted you on the back because you accomplished something, didn't you feel the love? When they wiped your tears, didn't you feel that mother's love? Even as an adult, our mothers are often there for us. I know mine is. At 84, she's still vibrant and alive and so important in my life. And when we have our own kids or when we suffer a loss, it's really good to have a mother or a mother figure someone that's compassionate and wise and loving to be able to lean on when we go through those hard times. And, you know, mothers across the globe share something that's really beautiful. It's a deep, tender kind of love. It's the deepest kind of love I've ever experienced, and I suspect probably the deepest kind of love that you've experienced. But, you know, being a mom is hard, isn't it? Yeah. It's challenging, and it's a responsibility that not everybody's always ready for. It's also always underappreciated, isn't it? Mothers are tireless, they're persistent, and they're patient. You know, as a minister, I go to hospitals a lot and visit people who are in the hospital, and I often see fathers pacing in and out of the room, pacing, because fathers want to do something, right? And what do the mothers do? The mothers sit usually by the bedside and just hold space and just love. They don't do anything. They just are present. Mothers are cooks and taxi drivers and cleaning people and firefighters, because they put out fires all day long, don't they? They're judges and teachers and counselors. They get up early to get a jump start on the day. I know mine did. I have all kinds of memories of my mom. She used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make my dad breakfast and then pack his lunch because he had to leave at 5. And then she would make our breakfast, there was 5 of us, pack our lunches, all before we even got up. And sometimes when I would walk downstairs at 6 o'clock or so, she'd be on her hands and knees scrubbing the floor before any of us even got up. Mothers work really hard. And you know, I remember just maybe 6 months ago or so, my mom told me that her fingerprint card had expired. She volunteers at elementary schools and often tells stories to the young kids. And you know, the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree, right? The storytellers in my family. But my mom told me that she had to renew her fingerprint card. And when she went to go get her fingerprints taken, they had a really hard time because her fingerprints were almost non-existent because of years of scrubbing and using coarse, like Comet and those kinds of things, and bleach, that her fingerprints had almost disappeared. Just mothers work really hard. You know, there was a young boy, 16, had his first job, and he was sitting at the pizza parlor with his friends telling them about the job. And he said, I work hard. I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And my mom gets up with us and makes breakfast for us, and she packs me and my dad a lunch. And then the girl one of the girls at the table said, is that all your mom does? She gets up and makes you breakfast? And he says, yeah, but that's what moms do. And he said, and the girl said, do you get paid when you work? And he said, yeah, I mean, I get paid and my dad gets paid. And what do you do when you get home? Well, my mom makes us dinner, and then we eat dinner, and then my dad and I sit down in front of the TV and we relax because we worked hard all day long. And the girl says, well, what does your mom do? Well, my mom takes care of my brothers and sisters, and my mom cleans the house, and of course she has to make us dinner. Does she have any time for herself, the girl asked. Well, not really, because she has to take care of all of us. And the girl said again, so you get paid and your dad gets paid, right? And he says, of course I get paid. I work hard. And she says, does your mom get paid? And the boy said, mothers getting paid? Mothers don't get paid. They don't do anything. Well, I think we all know better than that, right? Mothers do a whole lot. In fact, there have been various organizations and publications that have done studies on what mothers do and what's that worth. And according to salary.com, in 2018, an appropriate salary in the workplace for all the things that a mother does was $163,000 a year. But listen to this. According to an article in Fortune magazine, mothers should be paid more. In fact, the average mother works 119 hours a week. And at $42 an hour, which is a decent wage, that comes out to $260,000 a year. Not only do our mothers work really hard, but they teach us a lot, don't they? They teach us to appreciate a job well done. If you're going to kill each other, go outside and do what I just cleaned. They teach us logic. If you fall off your bike and break your neck, you're not going to Disneyland with us tomorrow. They teach us foresight. Make sure you wear clean underwear. If you get in an accident, you're going to need that. They teach us stamina. You're going to sit there until you eat all your spinach. They teach us about the weather. This room looks like a tornado blew through here. They teach us about the circle of life. I brought you into this world, and I can bring you out. They teach us how to become an adult. If you don't eat your vegetables, you'll never grow up. They teach us about anticipation. Just wait till your father gets home. They teach us about our roots. Shut that door behind you. You weren't born in a barn. They teach us about humor. When the lawnmower cuts off your toes, don't come running to me. They teach us about prayer. You better pray that comes out of the carpet. And they teach us about wisdom. When you get to be my age, you'll understand. And my favorite, which my mother used to say to me all the time, one day when you have kids, I hope they turn out just like you. That's about justice, right? You know, the highest tribute we can give our moms is not to bring them flowers today or send them a card or even come to church with them, although that's really nice. The highest and greatest tribute we can give to our moms is to be the person they wanted us to be. When they held us in their arms as a baby, they had a dream and a vision for us, right? And if we can be that kind of a person, that's the highest gift and highest honor we can give to our parents. You know, being that person means recognizing the masculine and the feminine in us, in all of us. You don't have to be a woman to have that feminine nature, that feminine quality of God within you. Many people see God as a father figure, an old man up in the sky, right? However, people that don't believe in God will often use nature as God. And what do we call nature? Mother Nature, right? Ernest Holmes talks about the feminine principle of God as the universal womb of nature. He says, because it operates through all living things and it's the source of all creation. It knows, he says, how to unconditionally nurture and grow to fruition all that falls into its embrace. I thought that's a beautiful definition of what motherhood is. And you don't have to have a child to have that nurturing essence. Oprah Winfrey said, biology is the least of what makes a person a mother. So today's the day that we salute all the moms and all the mothers' love in whatever form it takes. We want to honor those people in our lives that have provided compassion and nurturing and love and warmth. And if your mom's still around, I hope you connect with her today. And if she's not, connect with her in spirit, because that's just as real. Feel that love that you feel for her. And if you didn't know your mom, you still had a mom, and she still birthed you with a whole lot of love. So we're going to honor not only the physical moms out there, but that nurturing nature that's actually within all of us. When we look at the master teacher Jesus, the male side of God's character is expressed by strong declarations of truth, right? And pronouncements on morality. But the female side shows up in his gentle nature, in his sense of wonder and awe as he walked through the deserts. It shows up in the simple things that he loved, like eating food and taking a drink of water. And I often think if I could have been around when Jesus was around, how I would have just loved to have followed him around when he spoke with people and maybe eavesdropped on some of those one-on-one conversations, to peek at him from behind a rock as he just walked and experienced the beauty of the earth all around him, experienced the sacredness of everywhere his foot fell. I think I'd see him charmed by all the delights and all the beautiful things that he saw, the sounds. Just the way he looked at people, to me, would be inspiring. My sense is that he was loving and compassionate. You know, the masculine side of God is something certainly to be admired, but it's the feminine side of God that draws love out of us. Rumi says, we're born of love. Love is our mother. And while the Christian church has been pretty instrumental in creating that image of the old man up in the sky, there are some references of a different kind of God in the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible. Long before the Christians did a little bit of cleaning, if you will, of the Bible and formulated this male image of God, the Hebrew people used lots of different words for God. The earliest of them is El, E-L. It's a simple word that means a God. And the modern translation, the Hebrew word, is Elohim. And that's a combination of that generic word El, along with the plural feminine of the word majesty. So your majesties, plural. But when it's translated into English, it's translated as Lord. For me, there's a definite difference. Your majesty feels like it encompasses that male and female side of God, right? Lord feels like it just speaks to that male presence. So that was an interesting thing for me to take a look at. Here's another interesting one. Rahim. It's in Hebrew, it means womb. It's the root of the Hebrew word for mercy and merciful. And whenever the word Rahim is used to describe God's love, in English, it's described as compassionate love. That's the translation. But if you were to look at the Aramaic and the direct translation, it's motherly love. And although the overwhelming image of God in the Hebrew scriptures is of a male, there are some very interesting passages that still exist today. In Isaiah 42, God is likened to a woman in labor. Creative process, right? The birthing. In Numbers 11 and in Isaiah 49, God is referred to as a nursing mother. That nurturing quality. In Isaiah 66, God is referred to as a comforting mother. In Hosea 13, God is portrayed as a fierce mother bear. I can see that, can you? And in the Hebrew scriptures, we find over 400 references to the Holy Spirit in that feminine tone, specifically with the word ruach. And that word is the feminine noun for breath, wind, or spirit. It is feminine in nature, and it was made masculine the first time the Bible was translated into Latin. Interesting, right? We also see the feminine face of God in Hinduism. If you look at the Divine Mother, the god Shakti, the goddess Shakti, she's an essential, nurturing, life-giving energy. She represents beauty, power, intuition, creativity, compassion, and the love that lives in every single one of us. Etymologically, the word Shakti is related to the word Shekinah, and that is from the Hebrew. In the Kabbalah, it tells us that the translation of Shekinah is the feminine face of God. I have a slide. John, maybe you can throw it up there. Deepak Chopra wrote a letter on Mother's Day a couple of years ago. And in the letter, at the beginning of the letter, he kind of bashed the world for having such a patriarchal, egotistical leadership. And if you think about it, the leaders of most countries these days are men, right? In most countries. And he said, as we continue our evolutionary journey, it's important for both men and women to embrace feminine power. In fact, this may be our best hope for global change. And there's pictures there of Gandhi, Lincoln, Jesus, and Buddha. He says their love, forgiveness, and wisdom transformed millions of people. Those are feminine qualities, and they exist in all of us, male and female. I can't help but wonder if there were more mothers in leadership roles around the world, what our world would look like. Love, forgiveness, wisdom are three of those feminine qualities, but we have to cultivate others. Chopra says qualities like understanding and patience, compassion and peace, creativity and wisdom. How do we do that, though? Well, we develop and cultivate understanding by recognizing unity in diversity, by accepting others just as they are, and seeing them as the divine in disguise. What a fun game, right? Try that. When you see someone, that's God in disguise. We cultivate patience by choosing not to force something, not to force an answer, not to make something happen, but instead allow it to unfold. Allow the answer to come out of the chaos and the confusion, because you know what? It always does. We cultivate compassion when instead of ignoring or suppressing our emotions, we accept them, and we accept the emotions of other people as well, and we watch for the signals within our own bodies and then within other people's bodies as to when we can move forward and get close to them, or when we need to pull back and give them space. When someone is ready to listen or act, or when they're not. Peace comes about when we allow ourselves and those around us the freedom to be who they are. Again, back to accepting others for who they are, as they are, not expecting them to be anything that they're not using force of any kind to make things happen. And creativity comes where there were no solutions, and all of a sudden, we remember that we all have the ability to fulfill all of our dreams and that the world is full of unlimited potential. Shakti, that divine goddess, that divine mother, is wise, Chopra says. He says she sees the cosmic perspective, which always comes from love. He says, when we live in this place, we always ask, how can I help? How can I serve? So I want to share with you a story that I saw in a movie when I went to the Holocaust Museum in Israel just before the pandemic. The movie was of a man who, when he recorded it, obviously, he was still alive. He's no longer alive. His name is Solomon Rosenberg. And he and his family were gathered up and brought to Auschwitz. It was his mother and father, his wife, and his two boys, Joshua and David. And they all worked very hard in the concentration camp. And Solomon talked about working 18 hours a day. And when he was finished with his shift, he always would return to the barracks and look for the familiar faces of his family. Well, one day, his mother and father weren't there. And I think everyone sort of expected that to happen as they were aging and they weren't able to work much more, and people were disappearing all the time, and they all knew what happened, but they never talked about it. They grieved privately and on their own. Well, Solomon started to worry about his youngest son, David, who had always been a little bit frail, who was having a really hard time. He was 14 years old. He was having a really hard time working those 15, 16-hour shifts that young children were expected to work. Solomon worried about him every day. Well, every day when he returned to the barracks, he looked for his family, and they would huddle together in a loving embrace and give thanks for one more day of life. Well, one day when Solomon returned, he didn't see his family. So he looked everywhere. Finally, he saw Joshua, his oldest son, stooped in a corner in tears. And he went up to him and put his arms around him, and he said, "Oh, Joshua, please tell me it isn't so." And Joshua said, "It is so, Papa. David couldn't work anymore, and so they came for him." And Solomon fell on the floor in tears. And then he looked at Joshua and said, "And where's your mother?" And Joshua said, "Well, Papa, when they came for David, he was crying and he was afraid. And Mama stood up and took his hand and told him not to be afraid. And she walked with him." That's a mother's love. A mother's love and a mother's hands are so powerful. Whether your mother's with us or not, we're going to take a moment and we're going to get in touch with that divine feminine and that essence of compassion and intuition and nurturing and love that's present in every one of us. And so I'm going to invite you to take a look at your hands. Oh, I want to show you a slide. I want to show you the slide of my mom's hands first. Maybe you can pull that up for us, John. There we go. This picture is what inspired my talk. This is from 2014 when I was ordained. These are my mother's hands. And when I saw this picture, I noticed that my hands look very much like my mother's hands. And this is a beautiful quote. "You carry your mother in every cell of your body. You have to look deeply to see that she, in fact, is always with you. Her hand is still in your hand." So now take a look at your hands. Take a look at the wrinkles and the creases and age spots if you have any, cuts if you have any, whatever is on your hand, take a look at that. really look at your fingernails, look at the nail beds, look at where your joints are. Take a picture in your mind of your hands. And now close your eyes, if you will. And in your mind's eye, continue looking at your hand. Look at it from all the different angles. And begin to move closer to it. See the lines and the folds. And as you get closer, they start to look like hills and valleys. The skin pores look like huge chasms. As you go deeper, you see the muscles. You see the cells and the nucleus. And within that, you see the DNA. That DNA is what makes you who you are. It holds all of your genetic information like a biological flash drive that allows the blueprint of life to be passed between generations. In your mind's eye, see those strands of DNA and see the lineage, the matriarchal ancestors. Know that you are the daughter or the son of a daughter, who is the daughter of a daughter, who is the daughter of another daughter, and so on. Some of us are mothers, some of us are fathers, and some of us have chosen a different path. But all of us are birthed through lines that weave back to the very first mother. We're all born from one original egg, one original woman. And that woman was created from one original man. Both creations of the divine. We're all connected. From the very beginning, we've always been connected, and we're connected in the now. We are truly all one. So experience this magnificent feeling of support of all of those ancestors that are right here with you right now, because your hand is your mother's hand and her mother's hand. And take a moment to honor and appreciate all of those mothers. And now remind yourself that that nurturing and creative force lives within you. And it shows up like intuition and gentleness, creativity, compassion, curiosity, and wisdom. And I invite you to take 3 deep breaths and then bring your attention back to this room. So we're not finished yet. I have Marjorie and Janice, who are going to pass out, and Pam, who are going to pass out a small container of lotion. I invite you to rub that lotion into your hands and just spend a moment acknowledging and recognizing that matriarchal lineage, that DNA that has come down from the very first man and the very first woman that has made you who you are. It's a deep healing cream, so rub it in and really appreciate those hands, how you show love with your hands. It's one of the main ways we express that motherly love, through touch. Our hands do so much, and they're so important. So take a minute and honor them and honor everything that has gone into making you who you are. Every one of those mothers, your mother, your grandmother, your grandmother's grandmother, your great-great-great-grandmother, all the way back to Eve, that first mother. And see her DNA in your hands. So I move into that deep place of knowing, what I love to call the garden of my heart. And it's here that I recognize that motherly love that truly lives in every person, male or female. And it's that balance of energy that makes the world go round. It's that balance of energy that makes the crooked ways straight. It's that balance of energy that allows us to love and feel love and to be loved. And so I honor this nurturing, divine feminine energy that's in every person. I honor Mother Nature and the Divine Mother, Shakti, Mary, so many names, but one power and one presence, one essence that is both male and female. And today, how great it is just to celebrate those qualities of God that are the divine feminine qualities: compassion and wisdom and intuition and peace and love and nurturing and wisdom. And so it's with a heart full of gratitude that we step into this day and celebrate motherly love, the power and the miracles that happen when we know who we are. And so it is. Amen.
All right, so people say I'm like my grandmother. She's been gone a few years, lived to 97. So this is for her. Oh, lead me to a rock that is too high. She tell me, guide me across a river that's too wide. Sit beside me on this plain tonight. Should I wander, can't find your love. Lead me through despair or loneliness. Show me the way out of hopelessness, with a grace filled with tenderness and the faithful power of love. So when I'm standing in the darkness and I can't see the gifts of your love in front of me, and when my shoulders grow weary from that heavy load, well, I'll have your love like a hand to hold. Yeah, help me to trust under any condition. Teach me to listen with my intuition. Guide my way with no inhibition. If I'm doubtful and can't find your love, so when I'm standing in the darkness and I can't see the gifts of your love in front of me, and when my shoulders grow weary from that heavy load, oh, I'll have your love like a hand to hold. Yeah, walk me to the edge. Oh, but should I fall, start rolling down that mountain, I'll know through it all the courage I give myself will call your love right to my side. Yeah, your love right to my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. That was wonderful. And now it is that time of our offering. And once again, I'll repeat, Pam wants you to know that on Waves of Joy, on the very first page, there's a little button that says donate. Makes it real easy to find where you can donate. And we also have text to tithe, which you can do on your phone, and PayPal, and you can do it at the website. And again, we also accept cash and checks and credit cards. So we make it as easy as we can for you to do this. And so now I'd like to say our offering blessing. And let's say it together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prospered. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Yes. All right. And now I'd invite all the practitioners to stand. I am one as well. And we are here to support you. And we are also, as I said, now we're our practitioner corps and Namaste practitioner corps are now one. And so if we also have prayer requests that you can put in the prayer box. It's right underneath the TV as you walk in, and you can put in a prayer request, and that request will be prayed over for the week. So we are here to support you through the good, through the bad, and through the indifferent, and it is all all right. It is all good, and we are here to support you.
Hey, Marjorie,
yes.
We're talking about prayer.
Yes.
Can I give an update?
Yes.
Okay, maybe John, when you get up there, you can show that slide. Hold on. Every time I've come, I've told you about Firefly Walker.
Oh, wait. Come up here.
Okay, a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago or so, was the 9th-month anniversary of the accident that she had in Bremen, Germany. A couple of weeks ago was the 9-month anniversary of, a week ago or so, of her accident in Bremen, Germany. She came back to the United States in January. Her parents are caring for her at home, and what I want to share with you is that how amazing prayer works. Keep praying, but celebrate the progress. She now can track people with her eyes. She can literally make a connection with her eyes. She's making cooing sounds when she's happy. She can move her hands a little bit. She can hold someone's hand. She's starting to be able to respond a little bit more. She's having occupational therapy and physical therapy. So she's making progress. And that's a result, the direct result of prayer. So as a mom, you know, she was very close to my daughter, so she's like a daughter to me. And so it warms my heart to see this progress that she's making, and it's because of prayer. And let's celebrate this progress. And so her parents also are so appreciative of all the support, and you can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, or GoFundMe, but she's making huge progress, and I can't wait to see her coming to centers like this and singing again, because she's a troubadour. That's what she's always been, a musician, and her love has been to sing in centers for spiritual living.
All right. And now do we have children? Yes, we do. Let's bring in the children.
We are family. Brother, sister, and me. We are family. Got my brothers and my sisters and me. We are family. Got my brother and my sister and me.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Because, you know, what is a mother? I'm sure you guys talked about that in here, but a mother, yeah, in detail. A mother is a nurturer, somebody who shares their love, and I'm sure that every person in this room has done that. And so happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you, and thank you for nurturing all the people and creatures in your life. And today we just had a pretty mellow day. I actually had an emotional morning and barely got here. So I just allowed my amazing, incredible people, Ian and Mackenzie, to just handle everything with these beautiful children of yours. And we have flowers for our moms, and a couple of us made cards, those of us who were not playing softball outside. Baseball, wiffle ball, baseball, softball, whatever. It's not the same thing. Okay. See, I get schooled every time I come here. Don't ever be fooled that you are the teacher of the children. The children are the teachers of us. So, but yes, we all just, there's a lot of talking going on up here. Does anybody want to share anything with the people out there? Do you guys want to say something? Do you want to say? They want, oh, we all want to carry Landon. Yeah, well, I mean, who doesn't want to carry that cuteness? But yeah. He does. He's raising his hand, Landon. What's up?
That's fun.
And there you have it. And there you have it. So just wishing you all an absolutely lovely day, a lovely week, and I hope your hearts are open and full of love.
Now I'll invite Eileen to come up and do the signing as we go. Well, first we're going to go through our benediction, and then we'll do the song. So we'll put the slide up. There it is. Say with me, something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all that I do. I give thanks for it, and I accept it just the way that is and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. And now stand and let's sing our Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Oh, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
Yes. I'm with Mom too. Yes. Yes, thank you. Yes.